Welcome back to another episode of Laptops and Drinks.
Woo!
I'm Davina.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Anne-Marie.
And today we've got a guest with us.
I'm Curtis.
Woo! Welcome. Thank you for joining us. As usual, we are on all social medias, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like, share and subscribe.
Yes.
Definitely.
So today we've got Curtis with us. It is June and it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So we wanted to ask you to join us so that we have a male perspective of us today. It is also Father's Day in the UK this month. So, okay, so what are we drinking today, Sharon?
Okay, I'm on the make your own drinks tip. So my birthday's in a few months. It's going to be the big 5-0. Starting to think about what I want to do coming up to that time, and I want to be able to start doing something around reducing sugar intake. So today I'm on green tea with a hint of lemon and orange juice, and it is very good for like kind of helping you just, your taste buds aren't there for sweet things. So really enjoying it. Yeah,
I've never had green tea cold before.
Yeah, it's really nice actually. Yeah. So
Give it a go.
definitely going to see the next few months. I think I'm going to be on the green tea for a while. So I'm relying on you guys to kind of come with something different. But yeah, it's nice, refreshing.
Nice. Curtis, what are you drinking?
Well, guys, look, I don't drink, but although it looks like drink. But they've got it in an expensive glass. It's Purdy's. It's my kind of go-to. I've been drinking this for about 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Not heavily, but you know. Back in the day, they used to advertise it as a herbal, healthy, but it just doesn't have a lot of artificial things in it. So that's my go-to.
It's very nice. Which flavour have you got?
It's the green one, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's got some herbal looking label, so I trust it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's good for me.
Yes.
I'm on alcohol today. I haven't been on alcohol for a while. So rum and coke today. I just wanted something different. I just wanted a bit of alcohol. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself today.
Nice. Do it for us.
I
Because
will.
I'm on a cordial.
Am I the only one?
Which cordial?
This is passion fruit and mango.
Oh,
sounds
nice.
nice.
Fizzy or just still
No,
water?
just still water. So I'm just hydrating.
I'll drink for all of you.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think we should just also mention the fact that we've lost Dan for a little while, and Shags is not here.
Yay.
People might start to think, where's everyone
I know,
going?
we're going slowly.
Shaz had something else to deal with today, but she'll be joining us for the next episode. But we've got lovely Curtis here to kind of
Take
fill
our
in. Fill in the space. So Shaz will be back soon.
Yeah.
All right, Sharon, over to you. What you got for us?
Well, I just thought it's really important that we, ease Curtis in, don't want to just kind of go straight into the conversations. And in line of it being kind of thinking about men's mental health and celebrating men and also Father's Day, I've got a game that's called, so it's guess if the line came from a modern day TV character that's a dad or a real dad in everyday life.
Okay.
Yeah? So I'm going to say something, a quote, and you're going to be like, real dad, or, and you can all just shout out.
Okay.
All right? I'm not yelling, I'm just parenting with volume.
Gosh,
That's old school dad.
it sounds like
I
it.
think
So you got to just say real dad, TV dad.
Real dad.
Real dad.
TV dad.
Is it a TV?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dre Johnson from Blackish.
oh Blackish. Okay, yeah.
I should have known. We watched that. Oh, that show.
I have to watch it again.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I don't care if it's a trend on TikTok. We're not doing that in this house.
That's real.
Real
That's a
dads.
real dad. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I've said it.
With chest, you said it with chest, Curtis. It's a real dad.
I love you, I'm proud of you, and no, that doesn't mean I want something.
Oh, TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Uncle
good.
Phil from Bel Air.
Oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't want
You got all that lip, but no job.
A real dad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You're not about to go out here looking any kind of way. Where's the iron?
Where's the what?
Iron.
As in iron your clothes?
Yeah.
That sounds like me still.
I was going to say TV.
Was that a real dad?
It's real. It sounds
yeah,
real.
Yeah,
It's
it's real
real.
dad. Yeah.
I feel like you've been listening to me. Like,
I may not have had a dad, but I'll be twice the one I needed.
TV. That sounds
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
TV. Oh.
See, that's the thing, you know,
Yeah,
when you've
you
got
know-
a different
yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
He's going to know, right? He's going to know what is nonsense. That's Marvin Thomas from Raising Canaan. Being a man doesn't mean hiding your tears. It means owning them.
A real dad?
Sound like a speech. I don't know.
That's
Yeah, I thought of TV at first.
Which is it? What are you all saying?
I'll say TV.
TV?
TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you crying? You ain't paid a single bill in this house.
That sounds like a real
But
dad.
I've heard that from my own. You get me? So
Oh,
Is that a
I'm
real
worried now. Okay, this Wi-Fi ain't free. Better Google a job.
That sounds like a real dad, doesn't it? A real dad.
TV dad.
Really?
Is it? But probably a real dad.
A real dad would definitely say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
You've got
think.
one to take now.
I've said it.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
I like that.
Wow, that
Warmed
was
up
fun.
nicely.
But I love the fact that, you know, there were some things that you were like, oh, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it resonated with you.
Yeah. Because we're like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. We're going from my own experience of
Yeah.
being fathered by, but not actually saying these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So over back to you.
All right, so today we're going to dive in and have a conversation. It's all centered around all things fatherhood, masculinity, men, but from a perspective that all of us can contribute. So who's going to get us going and dive into the bowl and take out a question?
I think it's only fair that we let our guests.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Just read the question.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss.
What's a dad move you secretly admire but would never admit in public? But I can't admit it though.
In this public, you can.
What's a dad move you secretly admire? Okay, I'm trying to understand the question now.
So maybe what's something that, I mean, it's something we can all probably. What's been something that maybe you've done as a father or we've experienced from our fathers, but we wouldn't have normally admitted it in public, but we're going to talk about it here.
I don't know. You know, for me, right? You're trying to manage, especially when our children move into a phase of life.
It's like these children.
You know what it is? I've got my social work. I'm taking it off, right? You see these kids, yeah? All right. You know, in trying to manage their behavior, I want my kids to know that I've got more rope than them.
Ooh.
Okay.
Do you get me? And so I will say that I will do things. I mean, they're kind of at an age where they can just laugh now, but I will say things that I would do. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though.
But then
Keep us in suspense.
give us a little kind of.
Like for me, okay, I'll give you one. I'm going to call all your friends.
See, that's a
And,
dad move.
and embarrass them.
Yeah,
Okay.
embarrassment. Yeah. I don't like shouting. Some might think that's like going too far. I want
No,
my kids.
I
I want
get
my kids
that.
to know I will do everything I say.
Yeah, I get that. I do that with my son.
Yeah.
I'm like, he might say something. I'm like, do you know, if I ask your teacher, is that what they're going to tell me? He'd be like, no, that didn't happen.
Because you're more scared.
Yeah.
I mean, worse still, I just said, right, you get in the car. We're going down to the school. So we'll go down to the school. I'm going in the playground, and they're like, no. You know, on the way they're crying because I want them to know I will do.
Yeah,
you
you'll
know.
carry it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a proper like.
That dad
parent-
move?
Yeah, that is right.
I
That
must
is-
say that as a mum, I struggle
Oh, do
with
you?
the follow through. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I don't.
Yeah, I do a bit. I don't know what it is. But like that is like, no, I'm not playing. Like when I say...
But he said he's not going to do it though.
Well, it depends.
I
No,
would
but they
do
believe,
it.
No,
but they
no,
believe
it
him
depends.
though.
I've done
Yeah.
it once.
So, but it stops it, like what you said.
Yeah,
so
but
the
that's
threat's
because
there.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think, but that you know, like like children will see like which parents are going to follow things
Yeah.
through and
Yeah.
which ones are going to be like, oh, I forgot I said that.
Yeah.
Is that what I said? And then you don't actually.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's about the way you kind of present that
Yeah.
information. It can sound like, oh my God,
Yeah.
they're coming to school.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what it is, I wanted when we were in the car, I just wanted them to believe it was going to happen.
Oh, so you put him in the car?
Yeah, it was.
Oh!
It was on our way. That's what I said. I was holding. Didn't you see me driving?
I wouldn't
I was
do
driving.
that.
And no. Yeah, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get me?
But if
But
they push you to it,
you got to show
there's a
up.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. okay.
Show up. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I have to do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to do that because it's all about the
The
power's
tone
in the words.
And
Well,
the tone of your voice.
yeah,
and-
right.
This is it.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so funny.
No dad moves for you? Like, is there anything that you can remember your father used to say? But actually, when you think on hindsight, it never got followed through.
Not my dad, boy.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is one for TV.
Why not?
Because my dad found out I smoked, and the thing is that differently to my mum, he was like, "Do you know what? I'd make you sit there and smoke that whole box."
yeah, as
but that
punishment.
maybe that's like a father move. Like mums are not gonna
No,
they
take it
won't.
to that level,
No.
but fathers are gonna do that just to make a point, right?
It's the tough
But
love,
he
isn't it?
couldn't because my mum wouldn't have allowed it. But
Yeah.
he was like, "If it was for me, you would, trust me, I'll make you hate them. You will never
Yes,
touch another
yeah.
cigarette, so you just smoke the whole box."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did it happen?
No,
Oh, we did.
no, my mum wouldn't let him do it. No.
No. It's
But
like,
I bet your dad would have done it though.
Yeah, yeah,
If he
he
could've,
would. Yeah,
he
yeah,
would've
yeah.
followed
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that he, believed that would have been the thing to put me off.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it'd have been like, do it, and then you're not doing it again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I get that. My dad used to threaten to kick me out all the time. like your behaviour, you're this, that. But my mum wouldn't. My mum was like, no.
Yeah.
I would look like that to see if my mum's on the same page, and you could see she just like just turn her head. So then I know that wasn't happening.
That's funny.
I love it.
Any for you, Emery?
I can't think of anything. No, 'cause my dad was very quiet. He never, and I don't think I put him in that position. My mum was the one that was more strict when it came to discipline. My dad was one of these people. If I speak, you're going to hear about it.
Okay.
So I kind of never used to kind of push my dad to that point because I know that once he starts talking or doesn't speak, that's
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I
a
did-
dad move.
It's true, I suppose. Is it?
You're like you when he starts, it's over.
Yeah, he wouldn't shout. He's a bit like you. My dad wouldn't
He would just
shout.
act.
Huh?
He
Sorry?
would, he would just act.
Yes, yeah.
But do
He
you
wouldn't
think maybe
shout or
like
anything.
as like women, we might take on some of those kind of aspects of like approaches that our fathers might have? Because as you
It's
said,
true,
when you
yeah.
said that was a dad move, like I've got this thing where I said, you know what? When I start with a conversation, you know what? It's
It's about to get,
so
it's
it's
down.
over.
Yeah.
yeah, it's over. I'm like, you know what? And that when you take me to that point, then you know we're having a real serious conversation.
No, that's true. Yeah, it's true. Because I think, in terms of what you just said, Kate, I think it is true. Because I don't like confrontation either. So when I do say something, you get me to that point.
Yeah.
I think I do mirror my dad
Yeah.
in that respect. Yeah, definitely.
So the fathers have.
Yeah, they have
things.
influence. Yeah.
Don't play with people with few words,
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are the people you should be scared of, not the
Yeah.
ones with the big mouth.
It's true.
It's true, you know.
Telling you.
You never see them coming, right?
Yeah, you
measure
don't. You don't. Yeah.
Who's taking another one out of the bowl?
Go on then. I will. Thank you. All right. Gosh, do I need my glasses? Okay. Dads always say money doesn't grow on trees, but what's one thing they refuse to stop buying unnecessarily?
For themselves.
Doesn't say.
No, so that's for us to
Oh, okay.
talk about.
Yeah.
Gosh,
What they refuse
struggling.
to
Any
buy.
ideas
yeah.
from you?
Electronics.
There you go. That's
Okay.
true, you know.
We were poor.
Yeah.
We had a fat stereo. It was a stack.
I think
and
every
it was
house,
from the
yeah.
floor to the ceiling. He had a cabinet for it. He had records.
Yeah, yeah.
His speakers were, massive. Poor. Money don't grow on trees. When I wanted a toy, could I get a toy? No.
That's a point, you know. I
Yeah.
tell you, yeah.
That's true, actually. I think that's every Caribbean household, the stereo. Yeah, that is true. I'm just trying to think, actually.
My dad's Sky TV.
What about it?
he'd complain about money, but he would, and
He wouldn't get rid of it.
it wouldn't get rid of the sky. But let one of us want to watch TV. I'm going to get rid of the sky.
Why?
Because it doesn't suit him, right?
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Come on, they always had something. I actually, and as you said, like gadgets, I can know quite a few guys where actually they won't forego the gadgets and all the latest different like techniques, technical equipment.
My dad was a music guy as well. He liked his music.
Mm.
Yeah, my dad was into tools. 'Cause Dad was
Was
a
it?
plumber. So yeah, I'll find it in the van. Whatever you need, it's in the van. So yeah, I think that was his go-to, going to like the plumbing shops and all that kind of stuff.
But if you had to say to your and because another way to look at it is if you had to say maybe to, well, did your dad like holidays?
Not really.
If you
He'll
had to
go
s-
occasionally, but not often.
That's the other thing, isn't it? Like if you'd said to my dad, "Oh, look, let's take a cat. I've got no money,"
Oh, is it?
but then you would see him every day coming with one, two things. You think actually that could have paid for a trip.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's the thing that they want to prioritize,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the things that are most important.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like holidays are mostly probably a female thing. Maybe I'm not saying men don't go on holiday, but
yeah.
actually we're going to be more kind of interested in that.
Mm.
It won't be the priority maybe for some men.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. We never went on holiday.
Oh, you don't like holidays?
No, we never.
Oh, as a
when we was
child?
as a child growing up.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
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 My dad had his tools though,
He's fixing things.
and his records, and his car.
You probably tell you
They
that's
were just
keeping the roof
content.
over his head, right? Yeah, the car was. My dad would leave his car in the garage on a rainy day and walk.
Would he?
No,
So-
why should they get wet?
Yeah, the car wouldn't get wet, but he'd get wet.
No, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
He's
He's
looking
got his
after the car.
no. He's got his priorities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's looking
the
after
car.
his
He's looking after the car, and he'd come in the next day,
He's got a car.
and we're like,
Should have taken the car.
"You
then.
should've," yeah. But no. And when he did use it, he'd come in and he's shining that
Oh,
car.
that was his pride and joy. Yeah,
Yeah.
He liked, yeah.
But he would leave it if you look at it like it's raining. I'm gonna have to come in and dry. He'd leave the car where it is, and get on the bus.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Good memories, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have.
Okay, let me take one.
I don't think you're going to see anyone doing that today, though.
No, not at
It's
all.
a new day.
Yeah.
Okay. How do societal expectations of masculinity affect men's ability to express emotions, particularly as fathers or partners?
I think if you haven't seen like a male role model, whether that be your dad, uncle, whoever, cry, I think some men today don't. They struggle, I think, to kind of show their emotions. But then I think on the flip side of that, if they haven't, then they want to show their children that there is that softer side and you can show your emotions. So I think it can go either way, depending on the person.
I think in terms of society and the images that we've got of men in terms of media, I still feel like it's quite
So that tough exterior.
ultra masculine. I think there is a softer side of men that we're seeing, but I wonder if it's like different versions of men rather than the fact that a man can be quite masculine and have that softness.
And I think it depends on the partner as well. You know, will you allow, you know, your significant other to show their emotion and not, you know, not take it the other way or use it against them? Because sometimes that could be another way why some people don't. Some men don't show their emotion because it's like, oh, okay, I've shown you my emotion before and now you're going to use it as weakness
Yeah.
as well.
Or like, yeah, or be told they're too soft.
Soft, yeah.
Yeah,
Boys don't cry. Man up.
yeah.
You
I
get
still
hear
think
those
those are
kind of
quite
sayings.
intact today. Those, do you?
Yeah, I do. I do think. I was just trying to think about like sometimes some of the conversations you just what you see on TV in terms of the movies and what other young people are going to be watching. There's not enough representation of really vulnerable. It's either extremes, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
either you're really tough,
Yeah.
really masculine and doing everything, or you're so vulnerable you're broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not just a kind of like middle of the road where you're kind of just sharing your emotions and being reflective and kind of talking about how you're feeling and just kind of modelling that, really. What do you think?
I think that I've got traditional views of what masculinity and femininity and all of that, and I think that men are just they are wired a certain way, and there's strengths and there's weaknesses for it, and the same for women. So I think that we have to support each other and manage it, because what the media does is it pulls out the extremes, and it's unhelpful because it's not balanced off by someone who's supportive. Because some, like for me, I am that guy. I will internalize, hence Mental Health Month for men, right? Okay. I will internalize, and generally I can manage a lot, but there's times when I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, right? But then I've got someone there who kind of, and children who help balance that off, But I think that when we extract particular traits, I think it creates a lot of distrust, and so men will then just say, right, I need to be strong because she might leave me, or they might laugh at me and stuff like that, or my friends might think I'm weak. And that internal dialogue is just obviously leading to a lot of crashes.
And just as you're talking about, I kind of think from generation to generation, that's probably one thing that doesn't change. Like in terms of how the expectations of how women or how men are perceived. Like there are some things during the generations it changes or it evolves, and people are a bit more clear about. That's one area that you still feel like there's more work that needs to be done, really. And when I think about in how my wife and I are raising our son, we're just so aware of that and just trying to create space where he's resilient, and but also where he can talk about his feelings and not to kind of shut him down in that, and that he can express it and he can use the language. How that's going to be perceived by others in his environment, but actually it's getting him to know actually his own mind, because I think other people might see that might start name calling, because kids aren't always very nice, really. But I still think there's so much more work to do around that.
Do you know what I think? I think that I'm a strong advocate, and I'm writing about it. I've just produced a chapter in this book I'm writing for the social workers, like engage the dads, because a lot of the cases we get in social services, the dads are missing, or their voices are missing, and it's why is that? And I'm an advocate for dads to be involved with their children. So, because I think when you get to our age, whatever that age might be, whatever that age is.
I love the pool.
Still young. But I think when we get to our age, we're a lot more reflective. So a lot of the time, men will be like, look, you know what, I wish I could go back and do things differently. And I think that when dads are around their girls and their sons, they reflect, and it draws out of them what they need to have been all along. So then we're teaching our sons how to be more balanced men, because when dad's there, he's going to show you for the most part. So I think that if men are around, then their children, I think it helps a lot about correcting that narrative.
And maybe, and also, I mean, I think we're probably going to go into it a little bit more in another episode, but do you think it helps if you've got like a variety of friends that kind of helps men speak a bit more about how they're feeling, rather than just one type of friend or one, like if you've just got all men as friends versus having both men and women, do you think that kind of models a bit more of a different way of being in terms of for you as a man?
Yeah, it's funny. My friends, they're from various walks, but there's a lot of masculinity in them. At the same time, like I said, there's a really masculine side to them, but they've also embraced the open side.
Okay.
So I think, I was saying this to someone the other day, it's like as we get older, our brains are obviously changing, and you kind of open up and you might shed a tear.
Is that because you're tired?
That sounds funny, but that might be it.
Yeah, because the thing is, like you said, as you get older, because actually one of the things that we know, like if we think about our experiences of our fathers, like things that they probably used to do and they maybe don't do with grandchildren, it's because they're tired. So they don't kind of have the same language and same angst, and so it's, you know, that kind of being more open. Is that because someone said, you know what, I'm going to go and do the work to be this person, or is it just actually it's tiredness is contributing to that?
I think there's a gate. the hinges on the gate in the brain. You get me? And they just wear out. Yeah. My dad's a man's man. Like everyone that knows my dad, he's the man. But when it's me and my dad, it's like he would just talk to me deep, and I'm like, oh, you're there. You know. But actually, I think we're in an age now where we're so aware. It's a matter of with my son, he gets hugs and kisses. But I grab him up and I'm like, we're going to have a fight today. So we're rolling on the floor. I'm trying to do both.
And but did you have that growing up from your dad?
No.
So have you made a conscious effort? Like, actually, I want to... Is that something you've consciously said, or is that something your wife has said, or...
No, that was me. That was me.
You
That was me.
owned that too quick. That was me. No one told me.
It was. But she's similar to Davina in a sense. Like, she's got that more nurturing approach, whereas me, I'm like, yeah, I could be that, but no, I want him to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, what does that mean? Exactly. I want him to talk about. Right? I want him to be a man. I want him to be strong, masculine. I want him to be able to withstand a lot of emotional challenges. I want him to internalize some of it and then learn to process it and let it out. You know, I want him to be perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think so when that statement, like, I want him to be a man, do you think that is the only way? Do you tell him that?
Yeah.
You tell him that?
I like that. I like your candle.
I know.
I want him to be a man.
Straight up.
And does he ever say, what does that mean?
No. He's working it out.
Okay. Oh, so you just said, I want you to be a man, go work.
Well, actually, no. We have discussions. And also, I'm subconsciously programming him. So he's getting hugs, kisses, and I have to, when he was a bit younger, I had to have him up. I said to him, change your posture, stand up straight, stop hunching forward, stop watching that stuff on TV.
Yeah.
But is that a man, or is that just about being a human being? Like, you know, would you not give that same message to your daughter? Do you have a daughter? 2, yeah. Yeah. Do you not give... If they were both standing in the
That's
same
his princesses. I think it's very different when you talk to guys that have got a daughter and a son.
Well, that's what I want to hear.
And I'm curious to hear that
I want to hear
because
if they
that's
are
his daughters,
standing in the
princesses.
same way, what's the conversation that you're having with them?
It won't be the same.
I
don't think it will be the same. No. His girls are princesses and that's it.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust it might be.
To be fair, it's a bit of both.
But
look, I'm going to be straight today. This might end my career. but I am traditional. I guess most of us were born in the 70s here. So I don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
I am who I am. Yeah. And I'm trying to model great things from the past and navigate this complex world we're living in. I want my daughters to have successful relationships.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to be so strong that they can't relate to anyone, they can't be with someone. Do you know what I mean? So I have to teach them, and I'm teaching my son to respect women but be strong for women. And I worry about that narrative because he's got to interpret that. So, but I believe strongly in traditional values. I just think that we need to manage it, and I don't know if I'm doing the right job.
So what advice would you give if they were both standing? You know, if they were leaning forward and you want them to sit up, are you going to give the same message to both?
Yeah, they need to. So, for example, like when my son was a bit younger, he would hunch over.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of his brain that's hunching over.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's his mindset to life.
Okay. Oh.
So I'll say to my daughters and my sons, like, stand up straight.
Oh, so you give them the consistent message.
That in that particular thing, stand up straight because life is going to throw something at you.
Yeah.
I want you to cope.
And you want to see it coming.
But my daughter said to me the other day, you've made me so strong that I'm too strong. And I said, you need to turn it down now.
But
I told you what my son said to me, the flip side to that, which is, Mum, I worry about how sort of tactile, loving and like nurturing you've been with me and what that means for me in terms of, and so he's kind of trying to figure that bit out as well. As in like, is that softer side, is it too much?
too
Is
much.
that right?
Yes.
Or is it, but he's looking at me and I'm like, whoa, I didn't realise that, but he just suddenly said, this is you. And I was like, oh. But I had to sit with it and be like, okay, because you don't know.
It's getting that balance,
Yeah.
isn't it? And actually, but it's also having those conversations, the fact that he can come to you and say, this is what, because actually now you start to reflect and think about how you've been. It's not saying that was anything right or wrong, but we're trying to raise children to be able to cope in society when we're not here.
Right.
And we're not going to be able to always tell them to stand up, sit up straight, look forward, be strong, be vulnerable. So you want them to be able to kind of make sense of that on their own. And there are going to be so many different messages within that, because on the other side of that, they've got their peers that are telling them something different as well. But
It's a minefield.
There's no book for this.
No,
you know
there
what I
isn't.
mean?
I like the way
We're-
you said that, because that's the truth, that's the real. I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
And I'm doing some things right.
Yeah.
But I know you get that, and I'm like, I know I'm getting some of it wrong, but I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just like, this is the best I've got.
Yeah.
Work it
but
out.
would you keep repeating the same things that you know is wrong? Or would you tweak it a little bit?
Well, interestingly, if we place it in the context of where they are, they now have to choose.
Okay.
So I think as we get older, I'm tired of adapting.
It's true, yeah.
This is who I am. Deal with it.
It's very freeing today, isn't it, Kay? I'm tired.
This is my.
That's the
I'm
thing, like, you've
tired.
already put us into the age bracket, or, you know, we're all similar age, so that you get to a point where you're tired, right? And you can't. But the thing is, I've got a 7-year-old, and I'm guessing your kids are a bit older, right?
Yeah, like youngest is 11.
Yeah, so I can't get tired right now.
No,
Sorry. I'm just tuning up.
Yeah, I like that though.
I'm just
Yeah.
tuning up about yours. So as they get a little bit older, you can probably
Can step back a
lean
bit,
back a bit.
yeah.
I can't. I've got to lean forward more than I've ever done before.
Well, we could have had number 4, but I said to my wife, "You must be joking." I'm just saying the same thing you're saying. I'm like, growing another child. If it's a girl, I'm like, no,
You've done it already.
no, man, no more. Just in case it was a girl, I was like, nah.
You're not hearing about the
Just in case,
hinges
man.
off the door.
I'm telling you. What? Oh,
The game will just drop down.
this is.
Davina?
Okay. What's the worst piece of dad advice you've ever gotten, and did it weirdly work? I already shared mine's at the beginning.
Did you?
What, the
Yes.
smoking?
But did we, was that advice?
I thought you were smoking and he wanted you to stop.
You never said that was advice that you would that you've got.
He would have told you don't smoke.
Yeah, I think Davina's just trying to find a way not to think how to respond to that.
What's the worst piece of dad advice you've got, and did it weirdly work?
I don't know.
So that's when you secretly follow something they've told you, but maybe you don't want them to know that they were right.
Maybe.
I don't remember my dad ever giving me advice. Really.
Maybe
That's the thing.
relationships. Why are you with that person? You did listen? Okay.
That reminds me. Yeah.
Maybe about work. Yeah.
No, actually, I was in a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
It was never going to work. But my dad never told me. He just slid some messages in there, really sophisticated.
Yeah.
And I knew it was playing on me. And that's kind of part of how it kind of ended. But it was a very intense, but never was going to work relationship.
What was the message? What did he do?
Demeanor. His demeanor, the way that he kind of interacted with us. So she was a lot older. When I was 16, 17, she was a lot older. I don't know how to cope if that was me. But, but the way that he behaved, and my mom, the way they behaved, I was like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
If they're not going to
Oh, they give you little subtle messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all had that, right? When you bring
Yeah.
someone through the door and they say hello and they look them up and down. That's never a good place, right? You know, it's not a long-term relationship.
Yeah. But it's funny because I was in love. Like, how do you break up young people? And you can't. But the way they did it was so clever. So they kind of subconsciously put these messages in me, and they played out.
See, and that's what you got modelled now.
For your
That's the
children.
modelling that you be doing. So yeah,
I reckon you
guess
do a great job at it if it came down to it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine yourself in that situation if you had to play that back out?
I don't know. You know what? I'm doing it different. I'm being straight.
Are you just saying?
I'm being
You
straight.
go in a different route.
Yeah,
But they
straight.
might
what, you're just gonna
rebel.
tell them straight.
They might rebel.
I'll tell
from
my.
that.
I'll tell. Yeah, I know this is the thing. I'll tell my
Yeah.
son or my daughter, this is not going to work.
That'll push them
That's it.
towards.
Yeah,
I know.
that's the
That's
thing.
the conversation.
That's
I
the
know.
thing that your mum and dad
I know.
probably knew as well.
Yeah.
Then.
No, I know.
You wouldn't do that.
I would do
guys.
it.
Oh yeah, I think you need to try so that you can see.
It play out.
I'll come
Yeah.
back on in 5 years' time.
We want to hear how that works out.
Innit?
Yeah, yeah. How did
They're
that
still together.
conversation work out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got
And actually,
married.
there's a
Yeah.
grandchild.
Yeah, I'm a granddad. I'm a proud granddad.
Should have took that advice.
Yeah.
I think we got time
For one more.
for
All right.
one more,
Yeah.
two more.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
One more.
Let's squeeze this in. All right. In what ways can rigid gender roles limit both fathers and mothers in parenting?
Hear you saying I would just speak out.
In what way?
I think it's that idea that like the man will show children or boys how to be a man, and a woman and mums will show their
That
daughter.
soft-
Yeah, I think that's
that sort
too
of stereo.
rigid. As I gave my example with my son, I think we're capable of giving and being and doing so much more than just the gendered sort of roles, how it's set out in Western society. I think we can give more. We all know of examples where women have had to do it alone as well. So I just feel like, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm in a same-sex relationship, so we're raising a son.
Yeah.
So we're having to be extra aware of actually what is needed for his environment to be able to thrive as a man. So and one of the and I think one of the things I feel lucky about is that actually we approach parenting in a mindful way. So actually we can go out and seek things that is going to be needed for him rather than just happen just to fall by accident. So everything we do is through thinking about actually what's the environment that we want him to thrive in. Who are the people that he needs around him to help him understand what it is to navigate the world as a black boy and eventually as a black man, really. So that means we get to cherry pick
Yeah.
some of the nice guys. Move away some of the less nice guys,
I think I massively respect that, what your approach to, because your approach is you're in a unique situation, same sex, right? And you haven't, I think, how can I say this? You're very mindful that he may well have needs that you have to be conscious to try and meet, as opposed to just letting him work it out. Because I think this is it. This is what parenting is. It's saying, look, I'm not going to take you down the whole journey. I'm just going to show you the path. But there's another type of something I've been speaking about lately is permissive parenting, where it's just like, right, this is the landscape. Go and work it out. And I have a problem with that because I think children need a bit of context at the very start. Yeah. So what I don't want to do is say, you have to be like this. I want you to be flexible. But I want to show you, I want to give you a little bit of foundation. And I'm bearing in mind, my son is a black boy in England. I have to parent him in that. I have to, with my children, they're actually looking for some guidance indirectly. And so I'm like, well, I have to give it to you. Here's the blueprint. Do what you will with it, So I appreciate that you're like, I'm conscious that he's a boy. What does that mean to him? How can my parenting support that? Now he's a black boy. How can my parenting support that and give him a level of fundamental identity? Yeah.
Wow.
What?
It's been a blast.
It has.
You got to come back again.
It's gone quick.
See you next week. It was good. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice conversation.
Yeah.
kind of helped us to think about things differently. I think your game was good as well.
Yeah. It
Surely
is-
without you, we would have given different answers.
Oh, we would have
Definitely. Yeah. And I think it's for a while we've just had it's lovely to kind of hear the different age groups, different perspectives, but actually you forget how much you need a male perspective in
Yeah.
there, really. It gets you thinking very differently. And I've appreciated having you on today. So
Oh, it's
thank
been
you
an
very
honour.
much for coming and sharing some of your wise words. Some of them I won't even think about again.
Me neither.
There's a recording, guys.
Oh no! Is it recorded?
All right, so we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. It's bye from me, Davina.
Bye from me, Sharon.
Bye from me, Anne-Marie.
Bye from me, Curtis.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, Curtis.
Oh, thank you.
you.
Oh, nice.
I love having you on, man.